All right, 5 years of me doing content everywhere: LinkedIn, X, TikTok, you name it. Honestly, most of it is a grind. But YouTube, it directly got me at least $40,000 in client work within last year alone. It is hands down the best lead gen method right now. Now, I help other coaches, consultants, service providers do the same thing with their YouTube channel. But figuring out all this alone, man, I gotta be honest, it's really tough and quite frankly, a little lonely. So I'm gonna share 14 things that I wish I knew sooner that could make your journey suck a lot less. So you can turn your YouTube channel into the best client generating tool, just like it has for me. Let's go. So if you're a business owner looking to use YouTube to get leads, there's a lot of how to grow YouTube channels and stuff like that, but they're from entertainment channels. Mostly they're from kids in their teens or early 20s, right? If you follow what they have to say, they say that you have to have your thumbnail looking like this, popping colors, you have to edit your videos in a certain way, you got to talk really fast. And I even paid a mentorship by this kid who has a faceless channel, but it blew up. So he said, oh, I'm going to help you blow up your channel too. I'm like, all right, pretty cheap. So I joined him and he taught me how to do thumbnails like him, which is good. But then I was working with a branding consultant who was looking at my content, and then he asked me, who are you trying to target? And I said, coaches and consultants. And he looked at my YouTube channel and I'm like, I don't know, man, your thumbnails and your branding, you look like you're attracting kids. And that was the wake-up call when I really looked back at my channel, and it did look like an entertainment channel, not a business channel. I realized I was learning from the wrong person. Now I seek mentorship from somebody who has similar values to me, and we vibe on the same wavelength. I'm a stay-at-home father running an online business, so I find somebody who's similar to that. The lesson here is be careful who you take advice and learn from. You need to find somebody who you vibe with, who shares the same value with you, and who's already living the life that you want. 2, if you're creating a lot of content, LinkedIn written posts or YouTube videos or short video, doesn't really matter, but you're not seeing the results that you wanted, i.e. it's not really getting you any leads. You just have to practice more hooks, both text hooks and visual hooks for videos. So I had this client and he signed up for the most aggressive package I've ever had. The delivery was 8 long form YouTube videos plus 24 shorts a month. I worked with him for about 6 months. In all, I think I made around 200 videos with him. That was plenty of exercise for me to write good hooks for the title and also design thumbnails so it will catch attention. So that experience forces me to practice. You need a lot of volume until you're actually good at something. What I found out is for hooks, both text or visual, which is thumbnails, it needs to be simple. It needs to show some sort of emotion and cause some sort of curiosity. And it's the same for the title. It needs to be as short as possible, snappy. It makes people feel like, huh, what's next? That's the whole point. You can download all the templates you want. You can read all the books you want. You just have to practice. So every thumbnail that I do for myself or my clients, I dump them into Notion. This gives me inspiration for future thumbnail ideas and also to convince new clients who want to work with me. I'm also compiling the best open rates for my email list because a good email title is a good hook. So you can only learn how to do all of these the more you do it. So the lesson here is if you want to get attention online with content, you need to prioritize learning hooks, both visual, which is thumbnails, and text hooks, which could be your titles and also your email subject lines. You figure this out, I think the rest is pretty easy. 3, as someone trying to grow on YouTube, you're probably addicted to your YouTube Studio app without even realizing it. If the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is to check your phone how many subscribers you got, then you are addicted, my friend. And that's a toxic relationship. So it's only going to give you creator anxiety, like, oh man, I lost subscribers today, or my subscriber didn't go up, or my views went down. Does that really matter as a business owner? We're running a business here. We're not running an entertainment channel, so we shouldn't judge our success by the views. That's a vanity metric. The turning point for me was when I had too many clients for my YouTube agency and my system couldn't handle it, and I don't want to scale. So I decided to pivot my offer to more of a coaching consulting role, which is what I'm doing right now. And while I did that, it gave me some room to rethink my strategy. So I asked myself, and also my mentor at the time, what really moves the needle for a business owner like me? Is it views? No. Ultimately, I want people to buy my offer, my high ticket service. That's the ultimate goal. In order for people to buy my offer, they need to see my offer. And in order for them to see my offer, I need to have conversations online with my prospects and how my offer can help them solve their problems. And in order for me to do that, I need to get some leads. So in the online digital marketing world, leads means people who opt into your email list. So the lesson here is, as a business owner, don't look at views. Those are vanity metrics for entertainment YouTubers. you're a business owner. You should focus on how many leads you have. And the easiest way to measure that is how many people have opted into your email list. Number 4, as you're trying to get more leads online, you're probably following a bunch of gurus. Maybe this guy on LinkedIn, maybe that guy over there on Twitter, maybe this guy on YouTube, and they all talking about different things. Their method works best, the other one sucks, right? So if you try to piece all these free information together to make it work for your unique situation, I don't think it really works that way. You're only gonna end up being confused. So the turning point was when I got a proper mentorship and he clarified the path for me. And I'm going to share it with you right now. It's very simple. You do content, doesn't matter what it is. For me, the best one is YouTube, to get attention. Once you get attention, you want to convert that attention into leads. So you want to invite them into your email list. Once they are in your email list, you do the selling in your email list every day. Tell stories, by the way, here's my offer. So that's the funnel, very simple. So your priority number 1 right now is to build an email list ASAP. So the lesson here is you only need one simple funnel to get high ticket clients online. 5, promoting yourself online is not normal, okay? So if you ever feel icky, that's totally normal. I had a client who purchased one of my YouTube script template, and she said she followed everything to a T, but she didn't like the part where the script says you have to tell, oh, look at this client who got this result. Look at my client over here who got this result. So she felt icky because she's not used to promoting herself. But she said that video is slowly getting views and people are reaching out to ask for her service. So it totally works. But she said that she felt icky. So I want you to remember this. Why are you creating content? You're a business owner, you're trying to get more clients. That's the whole point, right? For my client here, she's actually a stay-at-home mom. So she's running a branding agency on the side. Maybe for her, the pressure to make money is not as much as me because I'm the main breadwinner of my family and I have to pay all the bills, right? When I create content, I need to make sure every piece has the highest chance to prove my competence online and attract people of my value so they become my client. If you're ever in a spot where you feel icky, remind yourself why you're doing content. You need to be comfortable selling every single day. For me, I don't need motivation about this because if I don't sell every day, I don't have any money. And then who's gonna pay for the rent? My whole family's gonna sleep under a bridge? No. So get used to selling every single day. It's not icky. You don't sell on YouTube. You promote people to join your email list. You sell in the email list. Number 6, you gotta sell what people want, not what you think they want. So I built an audience on Twitter or YouTube because I shared a lot of tips around digital marketing. I followed the typical creator advice, build an audience and then figure out what to sell afterwards. So I already have this audience and then, well, people know I'm this digital marketing guy. So I'm gonna sell them a digital marketing course of how they can become like me. So it was like a $75 digital marketing course. And if I'm honest, it's a colossal effort because I have to record myself for all these modules. It's just a lot of effort. So to promote this thing, I actually followed this book, The Expert Secrets, to a T. I promote it on social media and then invite people into my email list. On the email list, there's an email campaign to promote it every day with early bird pricing. At the end of the campaign, around 20 people bought and I made $1,500, which is really not bad for my first try. But when I wanted to make this into a monthly recurring revenue situation, I need to relaunch the marketing campaign. So in order for me to do that next month, I need to gather reviews so I can promote it better. So I contacted everybody who bought my thing and I said, can you leave me a review? And they say, sure. So they leave me this really nice review, say, oh, this course was so good, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, this is really good testimonial. But then when I look at the stats, the video views of my modules was 0. So that means most people didn't even watch the video. I can't build a business like this. I need to get real clients who actually use my product or service and then somehow it changed their lives. And then I want a testimonial about that because that's a really good testimonial. I can build a business around that, but I can't build a business around not sincere testimonials. So I decided to stop selling digital products, and at the time I was selling my done for you YouTube agency. Some clients who hop on my discovery call, they couldn't afford or they don't want the done for you thing, but they just want some consulting. So I got this one consulting client who I've been working for a couple of months, and at the end of it I asked for a review and she said, you gave me a lot of clarity, but the first thing that I really like about your consulting was that you helped me clarify my offer. So I know what to sell when I create YouTube videos. This feedback came from an actual paying client that became my service. Now, if you opt into my email list, that's one of the things that I promote. I'm going to help you refine your offer so you know what to promote when you do YouTube videos. So the lesson here is to sell something that people actually want. And the best way to figure that out is to ask your already paying clients. Number 7, not everybody is ready for your highest ticket service, which is usually done for you. So when I started, I was told by many gurus online that you need to start with your done for you, then you do a done with you group coaching, and then you do your do it yourself digital product, which makes sense. So a lot of people book a discovery call with me, and I noticed that most people are not ready for my most expensive done for you service. Some of them want the done for you service completely hands off. Some of them, they just want consulting done with you. And some, they just want to do everything themselves. They just want to buy some templates from you. And some other people, they want a hybrid. They want a mixture of these that is unique to them. So when I got a good mentor, he taught me to get leads from social media, get them into your email list. And on the email list, you promote different things every week. Then you see which sticks, which one you actually like delivering. So the lesson here is not everybody's ready for your most expensive done for you service. And if you don't have the done with you or do it yourself offers, you're leaving money on the table. So get people from social media, get them into your email list, and then rotate the offers around and see which one bites. Number 8, social proof. It's really hard to sell anything online if you don't have any social proof, if you don't have any client testimonials, if you don't have any case studies. So when I started this whole business thing, I didn't have any clients. The best client I had was myself, because I was building my YouTube channel to get clients. So I just talk about what I did, and I documented all the nice comments that I have or what I learned from discovery calls into my landing page. For my consulting clients, I asked them to leave me a review on Trustpilot. So as I gain more experience and more clients, I get better testimonials. I front load that on my landing page and on my YouTube channel. The ultimate form of testimonials is when you deliver something to a client, they get results. Then you get on a side-by-side client testimonial. What's it like working with me? What is the results that you've gotten? When I get on discovery calls with my potential client, most of them said, hey, I watched all of your client testimonials and I want exactly what they're having. Lesson here, you need to collect client testimonials like your life depends on it, because actually it does. The more client testimonial videos you have, and by more famous people, the higher you can charge. That's just the name of the game. Number 9, being authentic. So there's this cliche of people saying, oh, if you want to stand out online, you just have to be your authentic self, which is true, but it is also kind of cringe, because what does that even mean? So when you watch my videos and then you get on a discovery call with me, chances are that this vibe and what you're going to get in the discovery call with me is similar. But it's not easy for me to be this relaxed in front of the camera as if I'm talking to a friend. So if you're starting out creating content, especially video, it could be very intimidating to be this cool in front of the camera. So what a lot of you would do is join some sort of content coaching program or buy templates from your favorite creator and just change the variable because it's a template, right? The problem with that is you're gonna sound exactly like everybody else, but I still think it's a good start. Let me explain why. I too bought a LinkedIn template from one of the guys that I'm following. So I used his template, wrote a LinkedIn post, and then he offered, okay, I can help review it. And then when he looked at it, one of the comments, he highlighted a sentence that I wrote there. He said, would you say this, or would this guru that you follow say it? Because it's the exact same slogan. He said, you need to create content when people read it or watch your videos, oh, this is helping, because that makes you unique. That's your branding. But if you use templates, you sound like just everybody else. So should you use templates or not? The lesson here that I learned is if you're starting out, you should use templates just to get into the habit of creating content, and also in the mindset for you to mentally handle the volume of content that needs to be produced. Because it is a lot to be successful. Start with a bunch of templates, get into the rhythm. Now you can take the training wheels off. You don't need the templates anymore. You can just write what comes to mind. And that's your true authentic self. But it requires repetition and experimenting with the templates. If you skip the templates, I think it's going to be very overwhelming for most people, in my opinion. Number 10, jealousy. When I was running my YouTube agency, it's a new offer for a new industry. A lot of my competitors, they're really young, like kids, early 20s. Sometimes we get news from our network that one of our agency friends were making a killing, like 50K MRR or 100K MRR, which is absolutely nuts. And they were only like 19 years old, and they moved to Dubai and that kind of crazy stuff. As somebody who's 37 years old, father of two, I'm not anywhere near that. it definitely destroys my confidence. Like, how can this kid do it, but I can't? You're going to start having that kind of feeling. So the turning point for me was I was working with a mindset coach, and one of the first thing he asked me to do is we need to protect our mind. I used to follow them for competitive research or whatever, but I unfollowed everybody. I unsubscribed from all of their emails. And because if you follow them, you tend to create similar content with them, like you try to copy them. But what we decided to do is, okay, now we unfollow them for content ideas. We're going to start look within, right? What makes me unique? What is my experiences? What are my unique characters? What makes you weird? What makes you unique? And you gotta own it. And once you own your uniqueness, it's gonna show everywhere in your content, in your videos, in your emails, in your LinkedIn, everywhere. It's exactly how I got to where I am today. Clients work with me because they watch my YouTube videos. They felt like they're understood. They feel like, you know what? I think I can work with this guy. They can make that decision because they watch my videos. Like, they can figure out my mannerism. Can I work with this guy or not? When they get on a sales call with me, it's very easy to close the deal because they already made up their mind. So the lesson here is, if you ever get jealous by other creators out there who seems to be running laps around you, and especially if they don't seem to be any smarter than you, I want you to stop. Stop feeling jealousy because that's a negative thing. I want you to congratulate them. Don't look externally, but look internally. Look within. What makes you unique? And own that. 11. Comfort zone. There was a point in my agency where I had a bunch of clients, which is good. I got a lot of MRR, but I was buried in client work. So on one end, I was really happy for the MRR, but on the other end, I was burning out because I had to do so many client fulfillment. And because of that also, I stopped doing marketing for myself because I just don't have enough time. So I stopped doing YouTube videos for myself. I didn't promote myself on LinkedIn. I didn't do any DMs. So basically my pipeline dried. And eventually whatever clients you have, they're gonna fall one by one because you're not getting new ones in. I was in this vicious cycle where I do content, then I get clients, but then once I get clients, I don't promote myself constantly. They churn, but I don't have any new ones. So I was in that constant feast and famine cycle. The turning point was when I was working with my mindset coach, and then he's like, all right, what do you do every day? And then we identified together that I was spending way too much time with client fulfillment. I was so burned out that I didn't do any content for myself. I didn't do any DMs. But we figured that for me, I tend to do client fulfillment because that was my comfort zone. I don't want to create content because what if I do all this and the video flops? That's a form of rejection I don't want to handle. I don't want to do DMs also because people are just going to reject me. So that's very uncomfortable. So out of these three things I got to do every day, client fulfillment is the easiest. So I tend to gravitate towards that, just filling up my calendar with busy work, right? But I'm not doing the needle movers. The needle movers in my business is what I'm doing now. Every day, my priority is to create YouTube videos, have conversations on LinkedIn, and selling my offers on my email. That's the three things I do every day. Client fulfillment is the last priority out of all these three things. So the lesson here is whenever you feel lost, sit down, identify what is your three needle movers. Number 12, don't do it alone, get some help. So I believe in investing in a coach or consultant to help my journey so it moves faster. I joined at least 3 high-ticket coaching programs, which I thought at the time was my answer that I needed. So the thing is, every one of these programs say that their method is the one that you should be doing and everybody else is an idiot. But the first coaching program was this guy who said that, you got to be a freelancer. He taught me how to build an audience on Twitter and just give free value away, like Twitter giveaways. If you want my full thing, DM me this and I'll give it to you for free, but you have to opt in. So I did that. I got a lot of people opting in and following me, but actual paying clients, 0. So I joined another coaching program which swore that the answer for your agency is to send a lot of cold DMs. And I'm like, all right, let me give this cold DM a shot. But then it didn't work, and so did other people in the program who barely get any results from cold email. And then they also have a SaaS, like a company doing cold emails. So their coaching program is telling them they need to do cold emails. So they sign up for the SaaS. And then now they have data. Hey, look at all these active members of the thing so they can sell it. I think that's what they're doing, which is actually pretty genius. But I felt like I'm part of the thing and I'm not happy with it. And there were a bunch of young guys around their early 20s. So I just didn't vibe with their hustler mentality because I'm a 37-year-old father of 2. I simply cannot hustle. I'm just 10 years older than them at least. So the turning point for me was after spending thousands of dollars in all these coaching programs is that all the path works if you vibe with the path and put in enough work. The answer is you should pick which path. It doesn't matter. They all work. Pick the one that you like, the path that resonates with you, and then the guy who's teaching it, you also resonate with the guy as well. Then you invest and you put all in. You will see success. 13, never work for free. In this whole make money online thing, chances are you're going to join a bunch of coaching programs, you're going to join communities of people doing something similar to you, and occasionally you're going to find an opportunity that people want to do some service swap. So let me explain what that means. It's like this guy over here does this service and he wants your service. So maybe they will approach you, say, hey, I can offer my service for free in exchange for you doing YouTube for me. Here's the thing about service swaps from my experience. Most of the time, it's very hard to be completely fair because somebody's gonna have a better deal and another person's gonna have a worse deal. That's just how it is. Because if you look at it like, okay, my service is $3,500 a month, your service is $3,500 a month, let's just service swap and call it a day. I don't think it really works that way because I did a service swap and the guy only had to do some consulting work, like 1 hour once a week, 3 weeks a month. But for me to do his YouTube channel, I had to spend many hours scripting, managing editing, doing thumbnails, managing his channel. So at the end of a couple of months, I felt like it wasn't worth it. I spent so much time with this client fulfillment where I'm not getting paid, by the way. I could just build my YouTube channel. I would rather do that. So the lesson here is never work for free or do service swaps. I just don't think it's worth it. Lastly, number 14, consistency. So I've been doing content for 5 years. Sometimes I will question myself, man, I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be, making 40K a month or whatever. Everybody else seems to be running laps around me and they're a lot younger. What's wrong with me? They're not any smarter than me. And I feel like it's normal to question your progress. For me, the turning point was, okay, what are my options right now? Do I quit everything and go get a job? What does that solve? That doesn't solve anything. I chose this path. I am too far deep. There's a path of no return. If you return, you die. If you go straight, you will maybe die, but there's also a chance that you're gonna make it. So between the two, in this sink or swim situation, I think swimming makes more sense. You have to make it work by being consistent in the right path. Maybe you can't control the algorithm. You can't control if your video is going to blow up, if your LinkedIn post is going to blow up. You can't control that, but you can control your input. How many videos am I posting? How many LinkedIn posts am I posting online? If you're still not seeing results, I suggest you track your daily activity and only do the 3 needle movers of your business, which is usually creating content, DMing people, and making an offer online, which is usually in your emails. So the lesson is get help, make sure you're on the right path, and stick to it long enough until you see success. All right, if you watched this far, I'm pretty sure you're convinced you should use YouTube as your main lead gen. If you want to know exactly how to use YouTube for your business to get clients, watch this video next. My name is Helmi. See ya.